राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev Jai Gaura Premanande. Hare Krishna. So once again, thank you all for joining Sunday morning Mangalarati at Kormangala Center. So we'll start with a prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayate Nastaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Shri Chaitanyameshwaram. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam today, first canto, ninth chapter, sloka 27, the chapter entitled Passing Away of Bhishma Dev in the Presence of Lord Krishna. So verse number 27. I'll try to share. So devotees can see the screen, right?
Yes, bro.
Dana dharman, raja dharman, moksha dharman, vibhagashaha, Sri dharman, bhagavad dharman, samasratyasa yogataha. Dana dharman, raja dharman, moksha dharman, vibhagashaha, Sri dharman, bhagavad dharman, samasavyasa yogataha. Dana dharman, raja dharman, moksha dharman, vibhagashaha, Stri dharman, bhagavad dharman, samashayvyasa yogataha. Devotees, please recite.
दान धर्मान् राजधर्मान् मोक्षधर्मान् विभागशः स्त्रीधर्मान् भगवद्धर्मान् समासव्यासयोगतः
दान धर्मान् राजधर्मान् मोक्ष धर्मान् विभागशः स्त्री धर्मान् भगवद् धर्मान् समसव्यासयोगतः
दान धर्मान् राजधर्मान् मोक्ष धर्मान् विभागशः स्त्री धर्मान् भागवत धर्मान् समास व्यास योगतः
दान धर्मान् राजधर्मान् मोक्ष धर्मान् विभागसः स्त्री धर्मान् भगवद् धर्मान् समास व्यास योगतः.
Please.
दान धर्मान् राजधर्मान् मोक्ष धर्मान् विभागसः स्त्री धर्मान् भगवत् धर्मान् समास योगतः.
Anyone else?
दान धर्मान् राजधर्मान् मोक्ष धर्मान् विभागशः स्त्री धर्मान् भगवत् धर्मान् समासव्यास योगतः.
दान धर्मां राजधर्मां मोक्षधर्मां विभागसः श्रीधर्मां भागवत धर्मं समासव्यासयोगतः.
दान धर्मान् राजधर्मान् मोक्षधर्मान् विभागसा त्रिधर्मान् भगवत् धर्मान् समासाव्यासयोगता.
दान धर्मान् राजधर्मान् मोक्षधर्मान् विभागशः त्रिधर्मान् भगवद्धर्मान् समासव्यासयोगतः.
दान धर्मान् राजधर्मान् मोक्ष धर्मान् विभागशः श्री धर्मान् भागवतं धर्मान् समास्य व्यासः योगसः.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll read synonyms. Dana dharman, the acts of charity. Raja dharman, pragmatic activities of the kings. Moksha dharman, the acts for salvation. Vibhagashaha, by divisions. Stri dharman, duties of woman. Bhagavad dharman, the acts of devotees. Samasa, generally. Vyasa, explicitly. Yogataha, by means of. Hare Krishna. So in this particular verse, Srila Prabhupada has given a very, very long and transcendental purport. So we'll read one or two paragraphs, then discuss, then we'll move on to the next paragraph together. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militamena Tasme Shri Guruve Nama Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapata Taswamiti Namine Nama Acharya Pada Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gaura Kata Dhamadaya Nagaradramatharini Nama Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I'll read first paragraph. Okay, translation. Sorry, I'm not read. Translation. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. He then explained by divisions the acts of charity, the pragmatic activities of a king, and activities for salvation. Then he described the duties of women and devotees, both briefly and extensively. Purport. To give charity is one of the householder's main function, and he should prepare to give charity at least 50% of hard-earned money. A brahmachari or a student should perform sacrifices. A householder should give charity, and a person in the retired life or in the renounced order should practice penances and austerities. Those were the general functions of all the ashramas or orders of life on path of self-realization. In the brahmachari life, the training is sufficiently imparted so that one may understand that that world as a property belongs to Supreme Lord and the personality of Godhead. No one therefore can claim to be the proprietor of anything in the world. Therefore, in the life of householder, which is sort of license for sex enjoyment, one must give in charity for the service of the Lord. Everyone's energy is generated or borrowed from the reservoir of energy of the Lord. Therefore, the resultant actions of such energy must given to the Lord in the shape of transcendental loving services for Him. As the rivers draw water from the sea through the clouds again and go down to the sea, similarly, our energy borrowed from the Supreme Source, the Lord's energy, and it must return to the Lord. That is the perfection of our energy. The Lord, therefore, in Bhagavad Gita 9.27 says that whatever we do, whatever we undergo as penances, whatever we sacrifice, whatever we eat, and whatever we give in charity must be offered to Him, the Lord. That is the way of utilizing our borrowed energy. When our energy is utilized in that way, our energy is purified from the contamination of material inebrities, and thus we become fit for our original natural life of services to the Lord. We will discuss this point. So today we'll mainly focus on charity and Srila Prabhupada. 125 years of the appearance anniversary of Srila Prabhupada, and we'll focus on these two topics today, and in between we'll try to read other purport of Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so the first and foremost, Srila Prabhupada starts with the purport. He says that to give charity is one of the householder's main function. Normally, we have a tendency that, as a householder, we should earn a lot, we should make a big money, big bank balance, big house, and big car, whatever, But Srila Prabhupada here says that What is that the main function? Give charity. Of course, we have to earn because it's a grahastha. When I say we I'm addressing all the grahasthas. I think majority are grahasthas here. So grahastha's main function is to give charity. But how do we give charity? We have to work, because sannyasi cannot work, brahmachari cannot earn, vanaprastha in the process of is giving up everything. So it is grahastha who earns, who works hard and maintains other three, the sannyasa, vanaprastha or brahmachari. But therefore, it's our duty is to give charity. That's a duty. It's not kind of something we are doing favor to others. That's why Srila Prabhupada, quoting Rupa Goswami's instructions, he says minimum 50% of income. Sometime there is a discussion. No, it's not income, it's net savings. There are a lot of difference. Of course, accountants can understand, right? There is income. If I earn say 1,000 rupees in a month, out of which I'll have so many expenses, net saving could be maybe 10 rupees, 50 rupees. It's not 50% of that. It is 50% of my my first gross income, whatever earned. So I have to manage my expenses such a way that I have kept 50% to Krishna. Because of course, Rupa Goswami has given that 25% for yourself, 25% for future. So how much I can spend? Only that 25%, not the 99%. Leave only 1% for Krishna service, or no. So that is a first and foremost. And Srila Prabhupada says the world as a property belongs to Supreme Lord, the personality Godhead. That is another important point Srila Prabhupada points out here. Everything belongs to Krishna. Like we take water from Ganga and do tarpana to Ganga, Suryadeva Ganga, back to Ganga. But water belongs to Ganga. So the whole property belongs to Krishna. Like Ishopanishad says, Isavasidam sarva kitchatena taktena bunjitaha. Everything belongs to Krishna. So we are just kind of using that property of Krishna so that it is given back to Krishna. So Prabhupada gives a nice analogy here that as rivers draw water from the clouds, because clouds gets the water from the sea, sunlight gets that, and that water rivers put it back to ocean. So that's the same way we get energy from the Supreme Lord, and that has to be given back to Krishna. Otherwise, we are, Srila Prabhupada later says, we are thieves, we are rogues. Of course, Prabhupada quoting Yat Karoshi Yat Najnashi, whatever we do, whatever penance we do, whatever sacrifice we do, whatever charity we do, whatever we eat, offer to Krishna. So that is our ultimate objective, ultimate goal of life. So Srila Prabhupada says it's a borrowed energy. It's not my energy. With my little intelligence, my little brain, I cannot do anything. It is Krishna's energy, the Krishna's intelligence. Krishna is using me, Krishna is giving me this little energy so that I can be engaged in service. So that borrowed energy has to be used for Krishna service. And Prabhupada concludes this particular paragraph. He says, when our energy is utilized in that way, our energy is purified, and from the contamination of material inebrities, thus we become fit for original natural life of service to the Lord. So our qualification starts from there. Otherwise, we will always in miseries and always in sinful activities. So today we'll talk about a few quotes from Srila Prabhupada's purport. Srila Prabhupada in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 19th chapter, 36th verse, purport Srila Prabhupada says, ungrateful persons are those who do not understand how much benefit they derive by the arrangements of the Lord. They enjoy sunshine, moonshine, and they get water free of charge. Yet they do not feel grateful, but simply go on enjoying these gifts of the Lord, and therefore they must be called thieves and rogues. This is Srila Prabhupada saying that. Yes, if you go back to a few years, maybe 50 years, or maybe less than that, the water was never charged. Wherever we go, ask for water, people will give freely water. Now water is sold. And now oxygen is being sold, and many places the pure oxygen is not there. So whatever Krishna has given free, sunlight is given free, water is given free, oxygen is given free, and it's been sold. Few years back, maybe even food was not sold. Food was given free, but now everything has become business because we don't understand. So that's why Srila Prabhupada says we are thieves or rogues, because everything belongs to Krishna. We are trying to sell it. We are trying to make money out of it and enjoy Krishna's property. Instead of giving back to Krishna, we are trying to make money out of it. That is one nice pastime. Once my Gurudev, His Holiness Jayapatak Maharaj, invited a businessman from Calcutta to come to Mayapur. When businessman came to Mayapur, he had a darshan of deities, and then Gurudev asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, so-and-so businessman has come, can you please give a darshan? So Srila Prabhupada asked, who is he? He's a businessman doing, I think he was doing some glass business or something. So Srila Prabhupada said, he's a thief. He's a thief. He's a big thief. Because where from he gets a glass, he gets a sand, and from the sand he makes a glass. And this person was standing outside the door. Srila Prabhupada says he's a big thief. Then my Gurudev said, Prabhupada, he has donated so much money to the temple. Then he said he's a small thief. So he's a thief only. He's become small thief now. So the point is that we are taking energy of the Lord and we are utilizing it, our sense gratification. And we think that I'm the one doing it, I'm the one producing it, I'm the one, that is a nice pastime in Russia. So the Christian community, they were going in front of churches those days when the people coming out of church, this communists were asking, did your God give you bread? No, because in church they don't give bread. So they say, okay, come with us. We have a bread, we'll give you. You come with us. The point is that they don't understand. They're not making the bread. They cannot generate bread. Wheat they cannot make. Maybe maximum they can convert wheat into bread. That's it. But they cannot make wheat. So that has to come from Krishna's energy. So that is the missing point here. So that the point Srila Prabhupada is quoting. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita 17:20, Krishna says that the gift which are given out of duty at the proper time, place, to a worthy person without expectation return in considered to be the charity of mode of goodness. Dhatyam iti dhanam, he says. So the charity given should be in the right place, right time, right person. We should know to whom to give, what time to give, we should know. So that is the biggest understanding. So that's why ISKCON has done a lot of education in this point. Of course, so we should know whom to give. Srila Prabhupada here quotes how Bali Maharaj, even after knowing that he is Supreme Lord, when even Sukracharya refused, or Sukracharya advised him not to do, but Bali Maharaj went and said, I'll give whatever he wants. So that is the mood in which we should develop. So, generally in Kannada, there is a, proverb saying that whatever given in the right hand, left hand should not know. So that's why the Krishna says that without expecting any consideration in return, because charity given, it's not that tomorrow I should get. But of course, scripture says that whatever given, you will get it back. There is multiple times we get it back. Even if you are given little, that even if you are given, in social service, you will get it back. You will have to come back. We'll have to come back in next life to enjoy that. You will get it. Everything will get it. There is no loss. But we should not give in expectation of return, because that is the point here. We want to go back to Krishna in this life itself. We don't want one more life. So we don't want to come and again enjoy and miss to going back to him. So everything should be keeping Krishna in the center, we should be given. So right place, right time, and right person, worthy person. So who is that worthy person? Srila Prabhupada explains. Srila Prabhupada says, one who propagating Krishna consciousness is the worthy person. And he says, our society, Krishna conscious movement, ISKCON, is the right authority to receive charity. We have every service where we can engage the property of, Krishna's and charity what we given. So Prabhupada says in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 12th chapter, 50th verse, purport says, it is very risky to accept money or food from a materialistic person. For such acceptance pollutes the mind of a charity recipient. According to Vedic system, one should give charity to sannyasi and brahmanas, because one who has thus gives charity becomes free from sinful activities. The two aspects here, to whom to give charity and what happens to us. We should give charity to sannyasi or brahmanas, and the result is that we are getting purified. It's not that we are doing any favor to them. It's for our purification we are doing it, so that we get the benefit. It's not that they get the benefit. That is the point Srila Prabhupada makes here. Now, the word charity, we'll try to analyze it. Charity, CHARITY, charity. To analyze this, first let's start with the C. C is I have put some acronym for this. So C stands for change of heart. Unless change of heart is there, we cannot do charity. To give charity, to give something, there has to be little compassion in the heart, little mercy, little daya should be there. Whether even the not Krishna conscious doctor, even a materialistic person, even a philanthropic person, to give out something, he has to little mercy in the heart, little daya should be there. The change of heart is the first step, should give charity. That is what the first step we should cultivate. We should have a little habit of giving, not taking. One of the lectures is Jagashash Prabhu gives one story. So there was a Brahmana who was crossing the river with the boatman. So on the middle of the river, the boat kind of fell into water, sunk. So this Brahmana was kind of trying to save himself. So boatman said, give me a hand, I'll hold it. But the Brahmana was not ready to give his hand. Then the boatman said, take my hand. Immediately he grabbed. So point is that people are used to take, not give. So we should develop the habit of giving. That change of heart has to happen. That is the first step. Then comes H, humility. Like Prabhupada says here, whatever we given, we should not give without any expectation, without any expectation that I should get it back. Whenever you give with the expectation, that creates a problem. That's why people, whenever they give loan, there is a misunderstanding, there's a fight, because we are expecting the return, expecting that person should give back money or give back the interest. So that is not charity, that's not help. So second point is the humility. Should give 100% humility without expecting anything. I'm not the giver. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says how the rivers take water from the cloud and return back to the ocean, the energy of the Supreme Lord. So with that mood, I'm not the giver, I'm the just a nimitta in the hands of Krishna. So that's the second mood we should develop. So H stands for humility. A, association of devotees. We should know, Prabhupada says that whom to give, what time to give, what to give. It's only our seniors can guide us. Of course, Srila Prabhupada has given us very nice instructions in various places, but it's only our seniors who can guide us, who can tell us what to give, what time to give, how to give and how much to give. So association of devotees, guidance of devotees, that is the next point in giving charity. We discuss with the seniors, consult with the counselors, consult with the Siksha Gurus and our Diksha Gurus, so that we are in the right mood. We are in the right perspectives, because whatever we do, we should do it in a cooperation. We should do it in one purpose. In ISKCON, we have one purpose, Srila Prabhupada's movement. So we should serve together. So that is where the guidance of seniors comes, association of devotee comes. So that is the third point, CHA. Then R, Radha Krishna. Keep Radha Krishna in the center. Whatever we do, whatever we like, Karoshi Krishna says that whatever we do, whatever we eat, whatever penance we do, give it to Krishna. So keep Krishna in the center, Radha Krishna in the center. Whatever charity, we should always think, is it Krishna conscious? Am I serving Krishna conscious movement? Am I helping Srila Prabhupada's movement? Keep Krishna in the center. Then our charity becomes perfect. So third point is R, Radha Krishna, always in the center in giving charity. Otherwise, we may tend to give many philanthropic, many things which may not be Krishna conscious, and more danger that, of course, we as grahasthas, when we earn something, we incur karma also. And we give it to the wrong person, we get karma from there also. So we'll be more trouble. So that's why keep Krishna in the center always. And the next comes I, CHARI, charity. Charity, the donation is not something donation, it is investment. I stands for investment. Whatever you give, it's an investment. That's why, Kannada, there is a proverb saying that kottaddu tanage, bachittaddu pararige. Whatever you give, it is for you. Whatever you kept is for somebody else. So charity is investment. Other day I was hearing a lecture by His Holiness Bhakti Vigyana Maharaj. Maharaj was actually talking about Grahastha life. And in that process, Maharaj was referring to his discussion with Ambarish Prabhu, Alfred Ford. So Maharaj asked Ambarish Prabhu, why did you put so much money into ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada movement? Then Ambarish Prabhu said, he was referring to his discussion with his father. His father had told, my dear son, you invest in a business where you can focus, where you are interested, where you can take care of it. He said, yes, this is the business of Srila Prabhupada. I am interested. This is the business of Srila Prabhupada. I am focused. So that is why I invested my money into Srila Prabhupada movement, so that I am taking care of it. Like in normal cases, when we invest in some business, we go every day. We go sit there, take care of that, because we have invested our hard-earned money. Correct? The same focus, if we invest in Krishna's movement, our focus will be there. Like end of the day, what Krishna says, Manmana Madbhakto Madhyaji Namaskuru. Remember me always. How do we remember Krishna? If you put our hard-earned money, we can remember. And Krishna says, Antakale cha mameka smaranmukta kalevaram. If you remember me, you'll come back to me. So if you put our hard-earned money into Krishna's service, we'll always thinking about Krishna, always thinking about Krishna's the propagation of Krishna consciousness. So that is a real investment. So there is a joke, of course, joke of fact. There was a businessman who was in the deathbed. All his children are standing next to him. So that's the time he's asking, hey, who are everybody is here, who is in the shop? So business running, nobody is in the shop. So he's in the deathbed, he's about to leave, and he's thinking about his business because he has put his hard-earned money there. So similarly, if you put our hard-earned money into Krishna consciousness, if you're Krishna Prabhupada movement, we will be thinking about Krishna consciousness. We will be thinking about Krishna's, our temple, and that will definitely perfect our life. So charity is not something giving, it's the investment. Of course, in our material life also, we invest for future, right? Why do we invest? For earn something for future. So our future, this life or next life should be perfect. I have to invest in the right places. The right places is called Srila Prabhupada movement. So our investment has to be done So charity is not something giving away, it's investment. Then comes the T, tapa, austerity. To give something is not easy. It pains, when you give, something, it pains. It has to pain. So in his grace, Harila Prabhu says, we should give till it pinches you. It's not that something, give very small amount. You should still, it pinches you, should give. And that is what real austerity. We have to take austerity. We have to work hard. We as a grastas work hard to give more so that we can propagate Krishna conscious movement. The T stands for tapa, the austerity. And the finally, Y stands for we always keep holy name in the center. Holy name, chanting. Even if you're distributing books, even distributing prasadam, whatever, keep chanting, because that is will help us to purify our consciousness. So Y stands for yajna, the chanting the holy name. So C, change of heart. H, humility. A, association. R, Radha Krishna. I, investment. And T, tapa. And Y, yajna. When we follow this, that becomes a real charity. When we follow this kind of a few points, it can be kind of a perfect charity. So now Srila Prabhupada, in the one of the purport says that for those who are believing that scriptures they are mostly attracted to pious philanthropic activities, they sometimes, those who actually believe in the charity, good and religious means, the yajna, dana, tapa, etc. And Srila Prabhupada continues here, and by charity means voluntary giving away his material possession. That is charity, that is sacrifice. Voluntarily giving something, not out of force. Now, with this, we'll move on to the next part of purport. We will not much spend on other points. We'll go to Srila Prabhupada's other glorification. So Srila Prabhupada continues here. Rajadharma. I'll just read the purport. Rajadharma is a great science. Unlike modern diplomacy for political supremacy, the kings were trained by systematically to become munificent and not merely tax collectors. They were trained to perform different sacrifices only for the prosperity of the subjects. The lead the prajas to the attainment of salvation was great duty of the king. Father, spiritual master, the king are not become irresponsible in the matter of leading their subjects to the path of ultimate liberation from birth, death, disease, and old age. When these primary duties are properly discharged, there is no need for the government of the people by the people. In the modern days, the people in general occupy administration by strength of manipulated votes, but they are never trained in the primary duties of the king. And that is also not possible for everyone. Under the circumstances, the untrained administrators play havoc in the name of making subjects happy in all respects. On the other hand, these untrained administrators gradually become rogues and thieves and increase taxation to finance a top-heavy administration that is useless for all purposes. Actually, qualified brahmanas are meant to give direction to the kings for proper administration in terms of scriptures like Manu Samhita and Dharma Shastras of Parashara. A typical king is the ideal of people in general, and if the king is pious, religious, chivalrous, and munificent, the citizens are generally follow him. Such king is not lazy, sensuous, living in the cost of subjects, but he is alert always to kill the thieves and dacoits. The pious kings are not merciful to dacoits, thieves, in the name of nonsensical ahimsa, non-violence. The thieves and dacoits are punished in an exemplary way so that the future no one would dare to commit such a nuisance in organized form. Such thieves and dacoits were never given position of administration as they are now. We'll discuss few points from this before moving on to next. So here talking about Rajadharma, the duties of king. So Prabhupada talking about today's, even we were talking about his time and today also, today worse than that. So Prabhupada talking about democracy, the government by the people, for the people, and of the people. He says it's not democracy, it's a democracy. Democracy is not, because all the people and the helm, the top heavy, they are demons, demon mentality, because they have been not trained the real Kshatriya duty, the real king's duty. Srila Prabhupada is giving, what is the duty of a king? How the king should consider his prajas. They are not just tax collectors. Very soon, our finance minister going to give her budget. We'll know what kind of a tax is going to come. Yeah. So kings were not merciful to dacoits and thieves. This is another point. Today, because they themselves are dacoits and thieves, how can they punish? So the king's duty is to mercilessly kill demons, dacoits, so that the praja can be protected. But none of this happens because they are them. Now, what is our duty? Our duty is to, wherever possible, educate such people as much as spread Krishna consciousness. I know His Holiness Gopalakshmi Goswami Maharaj doing a lot of service in Delhi, educating the top, the ministers and prime ministers, and engaging them in Krishna service. And His Holiness Jayapatak Maharaj also does a lot of in Kolkata, But we have, at our level, wherever possible, we should educate, is possible, these leaders, and we should elect as much as possible pious and real Kshatriya quality leaders, so that they can rule the country nicely and take care of the people nicely. We as devotees, is our duty is to preach, our duty is to educate, our duty is to distribute Srila Prabhupada books wherever possible to these people and convert them at Krishna consciousness, right leaders. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 18th chapter, 43rd verse, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, the ideal king, thoroughly trained by culture of devotional service with the material spirit, makes a perfect king. Such a personal monarchy is far better than so-called democracy of no training and responsibility. The thieves and rogues of modern democracy seek election by misrepresentation of votes, and successful rogues and thieves devour mass population. So in the name of giving happiness, giving that benefit, this benefit, they will start, they are doing kind of plundering the nation's property and enjoying themselves. So that's why Prabhupada is talking about in the 18th first canto, 18th chapter, 43rd verse. Prabhupada again says, due to the termination of monarchies and regimes and plundering of people's wealth by rogues and thieves, there will be great social disruption. People will be killed and injured, and animals, women will be stolen. And all these sins, we shall be responsible. For all these sins, we shall be responsible. This is what happens. Cow protection is not there. Animals are killed. Cows are killed mercilessly. The slaughterhouses built. All these rogues, thieves, they have no idea what is good for the society. Shastra talks about, Vedas talks about, wherever the cow protection is there is nothing else required. Mother Earth gives everything, because whenever cow is taken, Krishna is pleased, nature is pleased, Mother Earth is pleased. But we do reverse. We do, cow killing. We do, forest killing, trees killing, cutting the trees. And we go for, when the rain is not there, we go to cloud seeding. We spend millions of rupees for cloud seeding. It's all ulta. So the fundamental duties of Krishna, when duties of Krishna conscious devotee, is to educate these people wherever possible. Otherwise, Srila Prabhupada says, we are responsible for it. We cannot blame. We are not done our duty wherever possible. Okay. Then we'll continue the paragraph. I'll read the paragraph of Srila Prabhupada purport. The taxation law is simple. There is no force, no encroachment. king had a right to take 1/4 of production made by the subject. In addition, king had a right to claim a fourth of whatever wealth a subject allotted for charity or spent for some other purpose. One should never grudge parting it with, because due to the pious king, the religious harmony, there was enough natural wealth, namely grains, fruits, flowers, silk, cotton, milk, jewels, minerals, etc. And therefore, one was materially unhappy. The citizens were rich in agriculture and animal husbandry, and therefore they had enough grains, fruits, milk without any artificial need of soaps and toilets, cinemas and bars. Again, here Srila Prabhupada is talking how we are adulterated the society, how everything become ulta. Instead of going back to the nature, instead of going back to the basic root cause, we are doing everything ulta. In a corporate world also, there is the system of root cause analysis, but we are not doing that. The root cause is here. Srila Prabhupada given the solution. Root cause is, if you go back to the nature, if you go back cow protection, taking care of Mother Earth, everything will get. We'll get grains, we'll get fruits, we'll get milk, we'll get jewels, minerals, everything will get it. What else require? But we are in a reverse gear. We are doing everything ulta. So we'll continue Srila Prabhupada's purport. King had to see that the reserved energy of humanity was properly utilized. Human energy is meant not exactly fulfilling the animal propensities, but for self-realization. The whole government was specifically designed to fulfill this particular purpose. As such, king had to select properly the cabinet ministers, but on the strength of voting, not on the strength of voting background. The ministers and military commanders and even the ordinary soldiers were all selected by the personal qualification, and the king had to supervise them properly before they were appointed to their respective positions. King was especially vigilant to see that tapasvis, the persons who sacrificed everything for disseminating the spiritual knowledge, were never disregarded. The king knew well that the Supreme Personality Godhead never tolerates any such insults to his unalloyed devotees. Such tapasvis were trusted leaders even of the rogues and thieves. Those would never disobey the orders of tapasvis. The kings would give special protection to the illiterates and helpless widows of the state. Defense measures were arranged previous to any attack by the enemies. The taxing process was easy, and it was not meant for squandering, but was for strengthening the reserve fund. The soldiers were recruited from all parts of the world, and they were trained for special duties. So a few points from here again. Srila Prabhupada is saying, what is the duty of king? What are the leaders? And kings were especially vigilant to see that tapasvis, a person sacrificed everything for disseminating spiritual knowledge, is protected. Those days, kings also knew Vaishnava aparadha is the greatest offense. But today, that's what happens. The first attack comes from Brahmanas. First attack comes Vaishnavas, because they're rogues. They know, if I break the system, this is what exactly the Britishers did. They broke our Vaishnava Dharma. They attacked Brahmanical, they attacked Vaishnava Dharma, they attacked cow protection, because that is where they thought, they knew exactly the foundation is that. But our people did not understand that. So that's why Srila Prabhupada says, Vaishnava has to be protected. Vaishnava has to be never to be disregarded, never to be insulted. And also Prabhupada says that the king would give a special protection to illiterates, helpless, and widows of the state. Women, children, the elders, always to be protected. So the Vedic Shastras, this is what the missing point here. We'll further move on to Srila Prabhupada's purport. As far as salvation is concerned, one has to conquer the principle of lust, anger, unlawful desires, avarice, and bewilderment. get freedom from anger, one should learn how to forgive. To be free from unlawful desires, one should not make plans. By spiritual culture, one is able to conquer sleep. By tolerance, only one can conquer desire of others. The disturbances from various diseases can be avoided by regulated diets. By self-control, one can free from false hopes, and money can be saved by avoiding undesirable association. By practice of yoga, one can control hunger, and worldliness can be avoided by culturing the knowledge of impermanence. Dizziness can be conquered by rising up. The false arguments can be conquered by factual ascertainment. The talkativeness can be avoided by gravity and silence. By prowess, one can avoid fearfulness. By the perfect knowledge can be obtained by self-cultivation. One must be free from lust, avarice, anger, dreaming, etc., to actually attain the path of salvation. We are all looking for going back to Krishna. Srila Prabhupada has given all the solution here. As far as salvation is concerned, one must conquer these 3-4 things: lust, anger, unlawful desires. So desire is the root cause for anger and lust. So that is what we need to control. Srila Prabhupada says, to free from unlawful desires, one should not make plans. Because the expectation brings a disappointment. And the plans for our sense gratification, our material growth is not required, need not. But we should plan. We should plan for servicing Krishna. Is plan for propagating Krishna consciousness. The plan for increasing Srila Prabhupada's movement. Our plan should be there. Now, very soon, Nityananda Tadashi coming. What is our plan? Gaura Purnima is coming. What is our plan? Jagannath Ratha Yatra is coming. What is our plan? Janmashtami is coming. What is our plan? So that is the plan we should do. We should plan for Krishna conscious purpose, so that we are always conscious of Krishna. When we plan for Krishna, Krishna will plan for our things, whatever required. We don't have to do a separate plan for our own thing. We should plan wherever we are, plan how to propagate Krishna consciousness. That is a plan required. Always meditating on that. Srila Prabhupada says, actually, one thinks about Krishna consciousness is in Samadhi. It's already liberated. So we don't have to do separate plan. Simply plan for Krishna conscious movement. That is enough. That is what will make our life perfection. That is a real planning required. And when we do that plan, all other things will fall in place. Self-control will come, humility will come, all those things will come, because cooperation will come. Everything, if you have desire to please Krishna, please Gauranga Mahaprabhu, please Prabhupada, we'll put control of everything. Our anger, lust, the pride, everything will be controlled, because our intention is only one. That is what planning required. Of course, Srila Prabhupada gives a solution for false arguments, the factual ascertainment. Many times we speak without any foundation, any basis. So facts, we should speak with the fact, and talkativeness, prajalpa, should be avoided. Gravity and silence. Again, silence is not keeping quiet. Silence is the speaking right words, right place for the propagation of Krishna consciousness. So this is what the path of salvation. Of course, we'll continue Srila Prabhupada's purport. We don't have much time now. As far as women is concerned, they are accepted as a power of inspiration for men. As such, women are more powerful than men. Mighty Julius Caesar was controlled by Cleopatra. Such powerful women are controlled by shyness. The powerful women are controlled by shyness. I'm repeating. Powerful women are controlled by shyness. Therefore, shyness is important for women. Once this control wall is loosened, woman can create havoc in the society by adultery. Adultery means production of unwanted children known as Varna Sankara, who disturb the world. Next paragraph. The last item taught by Bhishmadev was the process of pleasing Lord. We are all eternal servants of the Lord. When we forget this essential part of our nature, we put into a material condition of life. the simple process of pleasing the Lord for household especially is to install deity of the Lord at home. By concentrating on the deity, one may progressively go on with the daily routine work, worshipping the deity at home, serving devotees, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, reciting the holy places, chanting the holy name of Lord, all in Lord are all inexpensive items by which one can please the Lord. Thus, subject matter was explained by grandfather to grandchildren. So, again, Srila Prabhupada concludes here that what we have to do, simple, keep a deity at home, deity worship, read Srimad Bhagavatam, associate with devotees, chant the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. These 4-5 things will make our life perfect. Nothing else required. Everything else will fall in place. Krishna will arrange everything else. Just serve the holy name, serve Srimad Bhagavatam, serve devotees, serve deities. These 4-5 things, and wherever possible, go to holy place. If not, make your house holy dham. This is enough. If this is the 5 things, if you can do it, it can make our life perfect. And this is the subject matter explained by grandfather to the grandchildren, Bhishmadev to the grandchildren Pandavas. Now, we have not much time. So this whole knowledge was given by Bhishmadev to the grandchildren Pandavas and other assembled sages. Now, who has given us? We got this knowledge, we got this scriptural understanding from Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada's 125 birth anniversary, appearance anniversary is coming. So this is the most important time we should at least remember, start glorifying Srila Prabhupada and having a little gratitude towards Srila Prabhupada. So I saw one nice Vyasa Puja offering by 2 Matajis. I'll just read, the Matajis has written 108, the stanza, 108 points about Srila Prabhupada. I'll try to share that so that devotees also can see. Whatever time permits, we can read. Then we'll continue. Prasanathan Prabhu, you tell me to stop whenever required to stop. We'll continue. So the 108 offering given by 2 Matajis, Srila Prabhupada is founder Acharya of ISKCON. This is the fundamental, first and foremost understanding. Srila Prabhupada is a founder Acharya. If the Srila Prabhupada is not there, ISKCON is not there. Today we are sitting here, it is because of Srila Prabhupada. It is because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy, Srila Prabhupada's effort, Srila Prabhupada's the hard work he has done. We are here. He is the founder Acharya. Srila Prabhupada is not different from his mission. So if you take Srila Prabhupada, ISKCON is not there. Srila Prabhupada is not different from his mission. This is another point we should understand. Srila Prabhupada bestowing the holy name in every town and village. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction to give this to the town and village, Srila Prabhupada has done it, and next it's our duty, and his disciples are doing it. It's our duty to give it to town and village as much as possible. Wherever possible, we should spread this holy name. Srila Prabhupada is the crest jewel of all preachers. We should learn how to preach from Srila Prabhupada. Time, place, circumstances, right place, right word, how to preach, right in a situation, how we engaged this, the hippies, how we engaged the scholars for Krishna service. We can learn from Srila Prabhupada. He is a great preacher. Srila Prabhupada is a possessor of the Vaishnava qualities. He has got all the qualities of Vaishnavas, and he is the most kind of greatest Vaishnava. And Srila Prabhupada is the most kind person. He has given this knowledge to purification of the people in the society. He has not done anything for himself. Srila Prabhupada is a perfect devotee. No doubt on that. Of course, his disciples are confirmed. He is Satyabhish avatar. He is a perfect devotee. Srila Prabhupada is a personification of the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. He is Adi Guru, Jagat Guru, and he is a representation of Nityananda Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada is the most confidential servant of the Supreme Lord. Yes. And he has said that, you just follow this chanting 16 rounds and follow regulated principles. I will take you back. Even Krishna, I'll take you from the back door. So that is what the confidence shows. Srila Prabhupada is the most confidential servant of Lord. Srila Prabhupada is the best disciple as Guru. Yes. One instructions from his Gurudev, go and preach the Western world. He spent whole life for that. Spent almost 40 years meditating and planning for it. Next 10 to 12 years is executed, which is impossible to humanly for anybody to do it. Anyone in the past also not done, anyone in the future also will not be able to do it. So that is the one thing Srila Prabhupada did. And that is for one instruction of his Guru. Srila Prabhupada is delivering Srimad Bhagavatam Chaitanya Charitamrita to world. Otherwise, outside world never knew what is Bhagavatam, what is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srila Prabhupada spread it all over the world. Srila Prabhupada, the Siksha Guru for the next 10,000 years. Yes. Next 10,000 years, Srila Prabhupada books will live. The Srila Prabhupada books will teach the knowledge for the whole world. Srila Prabhupada strictly follows the previous acharyas. Yes, followed his guru, Srila Prabhupada followed Bhaktivinoda Thakur and the Sat Goswami's instructions, and he spread the same message. That's why he says Bhagavad Gita as it is. Srila Prabhupada perfectly renounced by being attached to the absolute truth. Even when he was nothing, he was penniless, he was, mistreated by the hippies, he was not bothered. Even when later we had billions of dollars in hand, he was not bothered. Everything was in Krishna conscious, everything Krishna service. He's always attached to absolute truth. Srila Prabhupada is very dear to Krishna, the Supreme Personality Godhead. Yes, there's no doubt on that, because there are so many evidence how Krishna taken care of Srila Prabhupada's movement, how Krishna has guided even Jaladuta to the complete ISKCON movement, how Krishna has taken care, we know that. Srila Prabhupada is delivered in the Western countries from impersonal. He is kind of, his pranam mantra says, he is teaching to this impersonalists and Shunyavadis and Mayavadis, and he is delivering them. He's giving the right knowledge to such people. Srila Prabhupada, the ocean of transcendental knowledge. This is another important point. Today, his books are taken to universities for PhDs. His books are taken for studies of scriptures. That knowledge, of course, Srila Prabhupada said that I have not done anything. It is Krishna's dictation. It's Krishna's who has dictated, and it's because of his Guru's mercy. So that ocean of knowledge has come directly from Krishna, and Srila Prabhupada has just delivered it. Srila Prabhupada has proven existence of God and explained sincere science by which one can understand him. So this God consciousness spread all over the today because Srila Prabhupada could explain in a very simple way, logical way, or even the illiterates or even egoistic, materialistic person can understand this. Srila Prabhupada is a personified teachings of the Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya's propagation of the holy name, Srila Prabhupada is the one did. Srila Prabhupada is a supreme servitor of Godhead. No doubt on that. Srila Prabhupada is the sum total of all demigods. We all know that, Guru's body, all the demigods there. And he is Adi Guru. He is Jagat Guru. He is, founder Acharya. He is the Shiksha Guru for all of us. And all the demigods is there in his body. Just by serving Srila Prabhupada, all the demigods will be pleased. Srila Prabhupada has changed the history of the world. Yes, Srila Prabhupada is a puppet in the puppet of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada himself said that how he make me dance. Srila Prabhupada said that. Srila Prabhupada has no desire separate from the desire of the Lord. This is the most important point, learning for us also. Our desire is to please Srila Prabhupada and please Guru and Gauranga. Then our desire will be in coordination with Krishna. Srila Prabhupada taught the real meaning of the God consciousness. So real God consciousness. Otherwise, in the society, God consciousness means go to some temple, put some money, and no. The serving Vaishnavas, serving Krishna, Krishna's paraphernalia, Krishna's temple, Krishna's Dham, Srila Prabhupada is the one taught us. Srila Prabhupada is receiving the benediction of freely giving or of them all. Srila Prabhupada is never touched by lust, anger, and greed. Srila Prabhupada is always concerned to see his devotees happy and Krishna consciousness, Krishna service. Whatever happens, he is always to take care of. How nicely he taught even simple cooking or dressing themselves. He is the one taught everything to his disciples. So how he engaged devotees in Krishna service. Srila Prabhupada's compassion for the suffering of souls unlimited. Otherwise, why should I have taken so much difficulty, traveling in the, cargo ship and going and staying the hippies, getting beaten by them, getting stolen by items by them. Why? Because of his compassion. Srila Prabhupada is worth taking shelter of it, no doubt. Srila Prabhupada is interested in helping the blind souls see themselves as they are. Srila Prabhupada enriches the lives of all who come in contact with him. Srila Prabhupada is always meek and humble. Yes, in a hall purport, he says that I'm not done anything. And actually, if you see one of the video, he's crying, the tears falling from, he says, because you.
That's announcement.
Okay. Sorry, should I stop, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, please
Okay.
continue. Maybe we'll have this. It's very nectarian, but we have so many other programs lined up.
Okay.
So next class, please kindly read. Maybe
Sure.
you can part of that presentation now.
Okay.
You can do this on Prabhupada.
Okay. Thank you. So thank you all for joining this today's. So again, my humble request that how Srila Prabhupada has given this knowledge to all of us. So let's serve Srila Prabhupada's movement as much as possible. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Or what we can do is, Prabhu, you can make this as the presentation, and we'll postpone that presentation to the next week. Maybe you can continue this Prabhupada's glorification, and that can be as part of the presentation. Is that okay, Purna Nandini Mataji?
Whatever planned, let them do, Mataji. So we can do some other time also, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, Mataji, that's okay.
Oh, okay. How many more minutes you'll require, Prabhu?
We 108 offerings are there. We have finished around 25. So maybe another 15, 20 minutes.
No, you can have it as a separate presentation.
Okay,
we don't need to hurry. Okay, we'll continue.
Sure. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Let's continue with the next program.
Hare Krishna. So thank you, Prasadeshwara Prabhu, for the nice class. So I request all the devotees to unmute and then, acknowledge Prasadeshwara Prabhu, his nectarian class by saying Hari Bol. Okay. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
So now we can move on to the next program, which is the prayer requests, and also before that, introduction of new